Hi everyone, this is Paul at Alt Game Reviews, and today we're taking a look at whether or not you should consider buying the new indie strategy game Until We Die. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to catch all our future reviews of the best AAA and indie titles. Until We Die is a tower defense strategy game developed by Pixeye Games, where you play as a Commander Ivan or Anna controlling troops and building your base throughout a series of underground metro tunnels. The main objective of the game is to survive 30 days of attacks from waves of mutant creatures, ensuring that your commander does not die or that your generator is not destroyed. It's currently £13 on Steam and it's also available on Nintendo Switch. The game's setting and story is very reminiscent of the Metro series. If you haven't heard of those games, they're survival FPS games set in the underground metro tunnels of Russia. Previously I've done a review of the first game, Metro 2033, so I'll drop a link for that. And I'm all for it. I love those games and I'm always up for a depressing and desolate post-apocalyptic world, especially one not set in the Western Hemisphere. Throughout the 30 days, there's 3 main waves to beat at the 7-day, 18-day and 28-day mark. During the first couple of nights, a few creatures will attack the base and you'll be able to handle these easily with a couple of diggers and engineers. However, by day 7 you'll be fighting dog-like creatures, shielded mutants, ranged creatures and giant monsters. All of these have their own weaknesses. Steel walls and snipers will help against the ranged creatures, and engineers will help with fixing damaged walls and mowing down multiple creatures with their auto turrets. Listen, I can't remember a game that got me this hooked so quickly. Although small in scale, the game's sole task to survive is effective in keeping you coming back to replay wave after wave and challenge you to improve upon your survival time. In terms of how the game actually plays, there are multiple troops to command. You'll find tramps to recruit throughout the metro, assigning them a singular role. This could be an engineer to build walls and buildings around your settlement, or stalkers who are extremely versatile. They can fend off mutants with their machine guns and Molotov cocktails, or they can be sent on an expedition to the surface to retrieve fuel and other upgrades which could be used to upgrade your settlement's technology. You can then invest in scientific research to improve the automation of your settlement and the production of consumables. So what are my criticisms of the game? It is very difficult and there's not really any hand-holding, dropping you right in the deep end. The most unique feature of the game is also its most unforgiving. There's no checkpoints. The entire 28 waves need to be survived in one playthrough. If your commander dies or your generator is destroyed, the game will restart and your progress will be lost. It's not a short process either. I'd say it takes around 3 hours to progress to the 28th wave. However, you can save the game and return, but you can't access the save point again if you lose. The game is a little light on content with only one map. I've seen some comments saying that this probably should be noted as an early access game, but again, it is only new and it's £13, so I'm okay with that. Some users did note that there was a bug with their saves. However, this was identified by the developers and now seems to have been fixed. There definitely could be some improvements to the way that you order your troops. If you press S, any nearby troops will be recalled to the commander, and pressing W will issue an order. However, the game doesn't have any straightforward way of issuing orders to individuals. Instead, any available unit able to complete the order will do so. Where this becomes troublesome is where units vary in the time it takes them to complete tasks. Although a digger can build a wall, an engineer can do it much faster. A digger can collect resources, but an engineer cannot. A way to fix this would maybe be some sort of hotkey for different types of troops, as to not have troops idle or to waste time, especially when the game requires you to press on so quickly with tasks in the safe hours of daylight. I definitely wasted some valuable time recalling and reissuing build orders to try get this to work. Also, some kind of automation of troops would also be a bit of a lifesaver, but this is an intentional design decision as stated by the developers in the Steam description. Troops won't automatically carry out tasks once they finish one, they'll just retreat to the nearest wall and wait for the coming night. Running from one side of the tunnel to the other becomes old pretty quick. There is a cart that can be used in the late game to shop between each side of the tunnel, but I suppose that is purposely one of the early game challenges. I've played the game for around 25 hours now and I've still not managed to make it past the third and final wave on the 27th day. I've came close and each time I'm getting further and further into the metro tunnel with greater advancements in technology. There are even 2 higher difficulties which I haven't attempted. Surviving a set amount of time in these higher difficulties will award you new bonuses to use. Hopefully we'll get additional levels in future updates. If you enjoy tower defense or strategy games and don't mind a bit of a challenge, then I think this is 100% worth the money and I definitely would recommend Until We Die. So I just want to say a big thank you to the developers for sending our review key to us, and if you enjoyed this, make sure to drop a like, it really helps the channel, and subscribe if you want to catch any future reviews. Cheers.